Your son is talking rude at school. That's what I was told. It happened one morning. I dropped the kids off at school and I was walking out and I ended up talking to a couple of parents outside the gate. Now, it took some time before the subject came up, but then one of the parents looked at me and said, "Oh, Tim, your son, eh? He's been talking rude at school with some of the other boys." I stopped. I looked at her and said, "Excuse me?" She said, "Oh, don't you know about it? Haven't you heard? Didn't the teachers tell you? Your son and some of the other boys, they've been talking rude at school, saying rude things." This was news to me. I hadn't heard anything. The school hadn't spoken to me. I went home, contacted a couple of other parents and tried to find out more information. Then I got back in my car and I went straight back to the school. Walked into the school office, asked them that I'd like to see my son. They said that I could go to the class, and at the moment the class was in the library. So I went off to the library. I asked the teacher and said, "Can I please have a word with my son?" She could see that I was serious. She said, "Yes, yeah, that's all right." So my son came over to me. As soon as he saw me, I could see the concern in his face. He walked over. There was a long seat there, so I asked him to sit down and I sat next to him. I said, "How's everything going at school?" He said, "Yeah, okay." I said, "Some parents talked to me this morning and they were saying that you were talking rude, that you and some of the other boys have been talking rude at school, saying things that not very respectful." My son reacted quite quickly. No, I haven't been saying anything." I was quiet. I paused. The teacher was listening. I could see her. She was listening in. She was watching and listening nearby while she was being with the other kids, all being quiet in the library. I was keeping my voice down. I wasn't big. I was calm, but I was serious. I said, "Son, you don't want people talking bad about you, saying that you're not good, that you're not behaving well, that you're going around saying disrespectful things, that you're being rude. Is that what you want the school to think of you? Is that what you want other parents and other families to think of you?" "No," he said. His face was dropped. He was looking down. I said, "Son, I don't want anybody thinking bad things about you. You're my boy. I want people only thinking good things about you. So I don't want you talking and saying rude things, please. Because as you know, if I hear about it, I'm going to come straight into school and address it with you. You understand?" My son got the picture. From that stage onwards, there was never any more rude language. My son knew that if he behaved like that at school, regardless of age, that was when he was at primary school. At secondary school, high school, I would have done exactly the same thing. And both my children know that. Now, when I was a boy, it would have been different. If the news had got home, which it did at one time, that I had been talking rude, this is what my dad, when I say my dad, my stepdad, did to me. When it was found out that I had been talking rude, because, as a kid, you try it on, don't you? You hear others talking and saying rude things, so I joined in and was going around mouthing off, thinking I was pretty smart and following along with everybody else and wanting to be liked. So my dad chose to punish me. He didn't sit down and talk about my welfare or get me to change the behaviour respectfully. Instead, what he did was He dragged me upstairs. We were staying at a relative's house. It was 2-storied, so he dragged me upstairs. He took me to the bathroom and he proceeded to wash my mouth out with soap. Now, my dad washing my mouth out with soap is possibly a bit different to how other people may have had their mouths washed out with soap. He made me eat it. I had to eat a cake of soap. It was pretty disgusting and pretty bad, and as I was eating it, he was holding my head back with his fist, and he would keep hitting and punching me and getting me to speed up because he wanted this done pretty quick. And that is how he always dealt with behaviour, was through violence. Often it was a lot worse than that. You know, it was being thrown across the room and getting bruises and so on. I chose to do it differently with my kids. I chose not to hit them, not to smack them. I did it to prove a point, which you may have heard in some of my other videos. I did it to prove a point. I wanted to show that I could raise really good children, confident children, without smacking them. You know, I thought to myself, you know, I'm clever. I'm sure if I strategize, if I come through this with strength and sincerity, my children will listen to me and they'll fall into line. They'll do what they're supposed to do. And that is exactly what happened. Now, I haven't seen my stepfather for many years, and most of that's actually come from him. He doesn't want to see me. He doesn't want to know me, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's all right. I love him. There's no anger towards him. You know, what happened in the past certainly happened in the past. It affected me, but I've done a lot of work on it. A lot of work on letting go. The big thing is that I wanted to do different with my kids. Now, I have a very close relationship with my son and my daughter. I have never raised a hand against them. I have never smacked them. My son is at university. He has a job as well, both full-time. I don't know how he does it, but he's doing it. My daughter's going to university next year. She also has a job and is finishing her last year of high school. They have excelled at school. They have, left me behind, that's for sure. I was kicked out of school. I was asked to leave school and never to come back. So very different results. My two kids are very well behaved. Even the neighbours have commented that my kids are always home and doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you know, that's on them really. It's on my kids because I allowed them to be. And I was the role model and I guided them through how to behave. There was no need for smacking, ever. You know, if I could just talk to them and sort it out, and it wouldn't happen again. Issues came up, of course, but they were dealt with respectfully and with the utmost love and care. So, yeah, I'm a big person for that there's other ways of dealing with behaviour than smacking. I hope this story has encouraged you in some way to how you approach addressing the behaviour with your children. This has built a relationship of trust and understanding between me and my kids. If you want to know more, subscribe and like, leave a comment or even a question.